Hey, Larry. Hey, that's what she said. This was a major change in my life. Leap and the net will appear. Hi, I am who you say I am. Hi, guys. That expression, I mean, it actually was in my head. I found it later after I escaped out, but it was kind of in my head. Hi, one love, 51,000. Wow. Hi, Eric. All right, we're on. Crystal, hi. Good to have you guys here. I am who you say I am. Thank you for all your hearts. Very pretty. And I like the little hands. I don't know how you guys do that. Do you all have iPhones? Because mine on my laptop, I don't have anywhere where like on my cell phone, I have little emoticon things. But on my laptop, I don't see anything, and I don't know where to find them. So if anybody knows, this is an HP Envy laptop. There you go. Anyway, hello. And my name is Tori Chrisman. For anybody new, I don't think you guys are, but I'm happy you're here. I'll be back shortly. Little one's bedtime. Aw, so sweet. Hi, Kelly BC. I have a Samsung Galaxy, 22 Ultra Android. Ooh, for my phone. Okay. Well, this is a laptop, so that's where I'm trying. The phone has the little things on it, but the laptop, I can't find them. I'm sure they're here somewhere, but where they are, I have no idea. It's another thing. The whole rabbit shuffle in the background looks so cute. Thank you. I'm glad you can see him. The rabbit. Here. There you go. There's the rabbit. And the bear, and the purple bear above him. Yeah. Oh, look, I think Mark and I got rid of the circle. We were poking around, and I think he did it. I don't know how, but I think so. Because it looks like it, right? I have to go back and see what the question was. I know what the question is. Oh, the question is Scientology exes, critics, and NeverIns. Favorite ways to expose Scientology abuses. That's the topic. That's what it is. It should be up there. You should be able to see it. Is your laptop Windows or Mac? Windows. It just is because I've had Windows forever. Not that I like it, and I wanted to have a Mac, but whatever. It's too long a story. About your laptop. Oh, the question is, where do they have, like, some of you put up little hands and hearts and things like that. And I don't have anything like that on the laptop that I can find. I have it on my cell phone, but I don't have it on my laptop that I can find. That doesn't mean they're not there. It just means I can find it. Maybe it's under style. I don't know. Let me check style and see. Nah, I don't think so. That's how Bunky and I got rid of it, though. I think we went under style, and there was a circle thing that was there that had been clicked somehow, because he helped me set it up. So he was like, "I have no idea," and I said, "Me neither." I Googled it, and it says press Windows key plus period. Okay, the Windows key plus period. The Windows key is that, like, the four squares, right? Windows key plus period. Oh, you're right. Oh, how cute. Thank you. I would have never thought. No. But how do I get it? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see if it goes there. Ooh, now it's going back to other stuff. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get it into the thing. Let's see, Windows thing and the period. Okay, there they are back. All right, let's try this. We'll try the hearts and we'll hit send. It doesn't send it anywhere. Anyway, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'll figure it out. I will. But thank you. Thank you for helping me. At least I found some of them. I have to go over to where I bought it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to turn on my light, too. I have to go back to where I got it. And Rib Guy and I both, he has a million questions on his phone, and I have a million questions on this. Come on. There you go. What is that? How weird. I had it plugged in and it was all charged up. Oh, there we go. Not long. Well, anyway, I don't want to waste your time. I'll figure it out later. Okay, so I started out with this, leap and the net will appear, which was the very first, when Stacy Brooks, who helped run Lisa McPherson Trust in Clearwater, said, "Who are you?" I said, I can't tell you, Stacy. You know, I was so frightened at the time. And then I got a message back from her and I thought, oh, she's going to help me. And I clicked on it and it said, "Dear Magoo, sorry, we can't help you, Stacy Brooks." And that's when I thought, okay, I'm on like a top cliff and I could look down, and at the bottom there was a little sign in my mind that said, if you leap, you might make it. And so I thought, okay, you got to make the leap. And that was it. And I found this sign, later, leap and the net will appear. And, you got to make the leap, though. That's the thing. I emailed you a link for you to look over on how to do it. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Cool. NeverIn Aaron. All right. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, all of you. Hi, Laura of Victims. Keeping it real. All right. Laura Victims. All right. That's a new one. I can practice it. I will. Yeah, good thinking. The magic of Googling. It's so true. God, it's so true. I have friends that used to, they still do, but they know how to fix all kinds of stuff around the house and stuff. But they said we use Google all the time. It's like they Google it because stuff is changing so much. Thanks for the gifted membership. Hey, you're welcome to Battle. I think that's the thing YouTube figures out. But that's from JB808, I think yesterday, donated 10 of them. Google knows everything. I know they do. It's true. All right, so let's get into this. First of all, what is the difference in an ex, a critic, and a NeverIn? So exes are people that were in Scientology and then they left. They're an ex-Scientologist. Now, there are people that have left Scientology, the Church of Scientology, and they're called independents, but they're kind of a different group. They're still using the tech and stuff like that. Critics were the people, when I first left in 2000, that's what they called themselves. They were critics, and they're critics of Scientology. And I think still today there's many, many critics. But then Tony Ortega started his site, and those people call themselves the NeverIns. So that's the difference in the three of them. They're all exposing the abuses of the Church of Scientology. I love that saying, and it's very true. I do too, One Love. I really do. It's really great. That's why I've got the sign. It's so LOL. I've rebranded often the whole LA drama. All right. There you go. One love. Kelly BC, so true. As far as Google knows everything. They do. They really do. All right. So first of all, the first thing that you can do, and this is for people that are either in, or you might be thinking about leaving, or you might be out, but you don't really want to be public. One of the things you can do that's very easy is just post on the internet. You can post anonymously. You don't have to say who you are. And that's the first way, I think, that is the easiest. For me, and you guys can add to this if you think of things that you like as far as exposing the abuses of Scientology, you let me know. The second one for me was my friends, meeting up with friends that also had either left Scientology, which was Jesse Prince and Stacy Brooks, and then Bob Minton, who happened to be fighting the Church of Scientology, even though he was never in it. And Andreas, of course, I met, but I didn't meet him in person for a while later, but I'll never forget, because he was the person that helped me wake up. Finally, it was like I had a bunch of things that helped, but he was the final straw. And it was in Magoo Dancing in Boston. That's a video that Mark Bunker made of me and Bob and Stacy and Jess. No, I don't think Jesse was there. It was just Bob and Stacy and me and Mark. And Mark filmed it and put it up. And I didn't know he was doing it, but he made this Magoo Dancing in Boston. It's very cute. I mean, it's really funny. But, that was kind of the first time where I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I was talking about, did you say Pam Dandy is in? I don't know who Pam Dandy is. I didn't say that. I've rebranded after the whole LA drama. Okay. And lore of victims is this who I think it is, or somebody else? Did you say Pam Bandy is in? I didn't say that. I don't know who Pam Bandy is. Hello from Florida. I've been watching you for years. Well, thank you, Valerie. Hi. And Kelly, so many NeverIns pioneers fought against C of S with no dog in the fight, really. Yeah, they really did. They helped us. They were really, really backed us up. And so did the critics before the NeverIns. Eric, I saw that video. You were hugging a tree in the video. I know. Yeah, I was, because I knew I lost all my friends and I missed them. So I was like kind of hugging trees. Attorney General of the USA, Pam Bondi. Okay, I did not say she was in. I don't know if she is or is not, but you could Google it and find out if she's a Scientologist. You can always check with Mrs. Google. That's what I call her. Okay, so you've got writing on the net, meeting friends, because once you leave, that's the ironic thing about Scientology. When you're in, they make it sound like there is nothing out here. Nothing. There's no people that are any good. There's no, none of your friends are here, which is such a lie, because there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people have left Scientology and are out here. It's shocking. It's really shocking, because when you're in, you really think, well, if I left, I'd be by myself, because you think that's all that's out there. You don't know people are declared, because they don't do that anymore. I mean, they declare people, but they don't tell you. They used to post all the declares up in the ethics office so you could see who was, but now they don't. And it's just if it's a big person that everyone's in touch with and they don't want you talking to them, then they'll say, like Ivan Obolensky, who used to run AOLA. They said, Ivan Obolensky's been declared, don't talk to him. It's like, my first thought was like, what Ivan Obelinsky was like at the top of the list of great people in Scientology for years. Number one at IAS, number one at this, and all of a sudden overnight declared suppressive. Don't talk to him. So, hi, Kenny. Hello. And you were talking about being with friends who come out with you. Thank you. Thank you, One Love. Okay, so yeah, you meet up with friends, and it is surprising because I honestly didn't think there'd be, I knew Stacy, Bob, and Jesse because they were picking me up at the airport, but I really didn't think anybody else. And by the time I flew back home, Jesse told me, he said, there's someone outside that wants to see you. And we were in a hotel in the lobby, and Osa was there, and Joel Phillips, and it was a big to do with this. We trying to help this family get out, and I went outside, and there was Spanky and Graham Barry, both who I knew from when I was in. I mean, I didn't really know Graham as much as I knew Spanky. I knew Spanky since the 70s, so it was really fun to see both of them. It really was. It was really neat. But it just went from there. I've just met so many people. It's just shocking. So definitely getting together with friends. And it helps because we all have similar experiences, even if you're never ins, but you're, somehow helping expose Scientology, you have connections with each other for that reason. Hi, Kenny. And Mersey Dose, hi. It's cool that you and Spanky have got each other. Yeah, we're good friends. She lives near to me, and we've stayed really good friends. So that's been really good because we've been friends forever, since the 70s. So, and she knew Travolta in a different way than I knew him. I helped train him in a course room, and she was friends with him kind of PR wise. She was working with him. So when she escaped out, her story is amazing, but she escaped out and went to a hotel, and she had nothing. She had her 2 kids, and John brought over $5,000 for her. Ha ha, Osa. Mr. John, Mr. There you go. You don't know. John Travolta, man about town. Okay, so you can write on the net. I went over that, and you can either, like, now, back then it was just alt religion Scientology, so you just had the topics. Now you can go to all kinds of different podcasts and Facebook things and listen to people, and I mean there's a ton of stuff. There really is. You can meet up with friends. The other thing I really like to do since the beginning, I wasn't going to do it. And I said, I'm not going to protest. I'm not going to speak out. I'm not going to make videos. But as soon as I got to Clearwater, Bob said, well, we're going to protest tomorrow. Why don't you come with us? And I said, okay. By then they'd already chased me across the country and kind of turned me into an activist. So I said, okay. And it was fun. It was really fun protesting. I do like it. I like being out on the street. It was more fun in the old, years past because they used to come out and talk to us. And that was really fun because, it was just good to see them. It was good to think maybe they're waking up, maybe they'll leave, which some of them did. Some of them did. It was pretty cool. So that's still going on, the protesting. And I think we should have a big one coming up in the spring. We should have a big one here in LA and probably one in Clearwater. We did a thing once. Keith Henson is a guy who used to protest outside the complex by himself with a protest sign. He'd walk back and forth, and they'd send me out to try to get rid of him, and he'd never leave. And so anyway, now I'm out, and he and I said, let's do a tri-city picket. So he was, I think, in Portland, and I was in Clearwater, and I forget who the third one was. I think it was someone in Germany. But anyway, we all did it at the same time, and it was really fun. And that was pre-anonymous days. So we could do something like that, where we set it up with different locations and have it. I think, okay. That's what she said is a NeverIn. Okay, cool. I saw the interview with you and Spanky showed up in my feed a few days ago. Wow, interesting. Too much information. What's too much information, Kenny? You gotta make it into what. Let me know what you're talking about. It's what is too much information? I'm down, said the battle. You're down. You're down for a protest, I bet. Is that what you mean? And Kenny, I don't know what you mean by too much information. And that's what she said. It says hi to Eric. Hi, Sophie. There you are. Good to see you. And she says hi to the chat. And here's my sign, Sophie, that I started with. Leap and the net will appear. That was a big part of my waking up and leaving. And I didn't have that sign. I got the sign afterwards. Okay, Moose and Sophie. Okay, Moose is here. I didn't see Moose come in. Let me see. Wait. Oh yeah, Moose on the loose. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming by. All right. You're not a pie. Well, anyway, if you guys have any ideas on what you like to do to expose things, you let me know. Hey, the Cult of Scientology, hi. She said hi to Eric. I definitely did. Okay, so Sophie, I'm kind of going over X's, critics, NeverIns, the favorite ways to expose Scientology's abuses. One of the things I happen to really like are signs, because people can drive by, read a sign, and learn something, in that second. It's really good. Whereas if you're yelling, they may hear it, good chance they won't. And the people inside aren't going to hear it either. So that's why I'm kind of against that yelling. But signs, they can see. And I always say on a sign, put like something like www.xenu.net or some other site that you like that has a lot of information on it. If you look at xenu.net, it has a lot of information on it. Andrea spent years building that. Hi, Andreas. Okay. It's oh yeah, I say it wrong. It's Eric Levitt, right? Levitt. Levitt. I can't ever remember which it is. I'm sorry, Eric. I'll work on it. I called her a pie too. Philosophy. No, she's Soapy. Eric, I know, sorry, I posted it. Now the error. Okay. One love. Sign. So, signs are why billboards. Wait, where did you go? Signs are why billboards work for advertising. You really can't miss them. Exactly. Yeah. So that would be another one, would be a really good, chip in together and put up a billboard. I think it'd be fabulous. I really do. And it's really something that would be fun. You'd be really proud of it because you helped chip in on it. So that's an idea. That's right. I'm going to put that down. Billboards. That's good. Billboards. So far, Sophie, we have, writing something on the net, like you can write it anonymously or as yourself, whichever one you want. Meeting with friends, right after you get out, it's important to meet with friends because it's so weird to be out. And, of course, you lose all your friends because they can't talk to you because you left. So to me, it's really important to meet with ex-Scientologists. and, just share things that have happened. It's amazing. And Sophie has a comment. I think that clear, bold signs are great. Me too. We had a gentleman up in, I think, San Francisco, back when Anonymous was here and a lot of us were protesting with signs. And a lot of it, everybody had funky signs. They were, handwritten. And this guy said, look, I make signs, so I'm going to make signs for you. And he did. And they're still to this day, they're terrific. You can go on John Dries, Dries, if you're on Facebook, and you can see some of our signs that the guy made. John was my roommate. No worries, I love pie. Me too. But I like cake better. Kelly. That's what she said. I'm glad I'm not alone. Okay, good. Okay. I think the Scientology GI was around 5 million last year. Can they still afford to buy buildings? They have tons of money. I mean, that's just within the orgs that they have that money. Miscavige has got tons of money. I mean, think of these people that have donated millions. Okay, Kenny, that's what they reported. The truth is that they have a lot in overseas accounts, right? And also billions piled up in real estate. Exactly, my point exactly. Merzidos, did you see Mindy is back? Yeah, yes. Not really protesting, but at least streaming. Yeah, that was good to see. I like Mindy. Okay. And Sophie said, comment, I always tell anyone who wants to listen that it's a cult. Sadly, most people don't really care. They think it doesn't affect me, so you got to do what I do. Your life is in danger. I do it a lot. I tell people, your life is in danger, and they go, really? How? And I go, you're 15 minutes away from Scientology. And they go, their eyes always go like this. And I go, I was in it for 30 years, so I can speak for I know what I'm talking about. And they go, really? And I go, oh yeah, hell yeah. And then I get out my little card, which I've showed you, and I give them a card, which, here it is. I give them a card. I go, here's my card. Take my card. This has got websites on it, and I want you to study it. Because they're after people like you. They're after young people. They're after people, Hispanics. They're after African Americans. They're after Latino, Latina, people from any other country they're after, because they've already gone through America and we're all like, no, thank you. They've kind of milked the Americans. So now they're into everything else. And especially if you can speak 2 languages. And that's the thing I always put up to them. I go, you can speak 2 languages, right? And they go, yeah. And I go, there you go. You're young, you're good looking, you speak 2 languages. That's it. Let's get them in. And they go, wow, that's amazing. It isn't really, but it is when you don't know it. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, just to say it's a cult is kind of tricky, because then they have to agree with you on that. And some people don't want to. But if you just talk about, the abuses, have you ever heard of the abuses of the Church of Scientology? Most people will go, no. And you go, well, let me give you 5. And you just, they break up families, they stop free speech, fraud, medical abuse, and they rope in young kids, like your kid's age, to a billion-year contract. And people are like this, really? And that's when you go, yeah, here's my card. Honestly, take it, start studying it. This has all the information you need on it. And I have spoken with cult experts, and this is true. And they told me, Tori, people's only hope for not getting suckered into a cult, because they said anyone can get suckered into a cult if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But if you learn what is a cult, what is mind control, brainwashing, they can't get you because you will spot it. See what I mean? So it's a good thing. You can go on YouTube and just type those in. I'm a little behind because I'm door dashing, but when I used to protest, I went into C of S in Boulder, Colorado, and they gave me a magazine. Okay. And it had Ron's face on it. My sympathy. All right, Sophie, Kelly said, when I start telling people I know about the crimes of C of S, they look at me like I have two heads. Really? Well, were you ever in it, Kelly? I think you were. But tell me if you were. Wait, let me go down to the. Ooh. Same here, Sophie. It's barely heard of here. Okay, you're a NeverIn. Okay, well then you can say, I have a friend that was in it for 30 years. And actually you can go and listen to her anytime you want. And again, I can't say it enough. Make up some cards. You can give out the cards, Tori Magoo 44, Xenu.net, whatever you want, Mark Bunker, that kind of thing, Xenu TV. And a lot of people have heard of Xenu because of the comedy guys have done a lot on that. But tell them our stories. Tell them, find some story that you like and tell them that. And just say it's an important thing that, you find out about it and that you teach your kids about it because your kids could get roped into it too. And I know you think, oh, it's never going to happen to me. That's what we all think as far as anything bad. It's not going to happen to me. Well, it's happened to a lot of people. More than you think. I guess outside LA and Clearwater, Scientology isn't really a thing. Okay. Well, good. Same here, Sophie. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad it's not a thing. I think sometimes people think in the I'm weird. Well, you are. Let's face it, Sophie, you are. I'm just teasing. But where is she? Okay, here she is. Sometimes people think I'm weird, but then again, it's not that big here in New Zealand. I've only ever met one that I know of. Wow, that's good news. That's really good news. That's how it was in Norway, too. I said to Andreas, I want to go to Scientology and see it. And he goes, why? And I said, I just want to see it. And he goes, it's just a doorbell, Tori. And that's how all of them are now. So there's really not that much. But the thing about them getting the money is, and I'll tell you, this is a true story. This one lady called me and she said, I got a flyer from Scientology. I didn't know it was Scientology. And it said, increase your income. And we were doctors. And so I said to my husband, let's fly to Clearwater and do this management technology. It could help. So he said, okay. So they flew in and they interviewed each of them separately. And they said to the wife, what do you think about Scientology? And she said, I don't want to have anything to do with that. We're here for the management technology. And the husband, they did 8 interviews with him over the weekend. And by Sunday night, he came out and said to her, either you get in Scientology or this marriage is over. And they'd been married 16 years. So, it's tricky. It really is. They're good at what they do. They're not that good, because if they were really good, they would listen and learn, but they don't. But on scamming people, they're pretty good if they can get to them. Okay, so Sophie, you're outside of LA, and oh yeah, I guess outside, yeah. We said that. And Kelly's a NeverIn. All right. And Sophie, those were all great points you named, Tori. It's helpful to have points that you can tell people. There you go. Thank you, Sophie. And there's a few more I have. This isn't for everybody, but I highly recommend it. It's going places and speaking about it. You can speak about just abuse in general, bullies, abuse, that kind of thing. And I've done it a bunch. Now, I had the luxury of going to Toastmasters. I don't know if you guys have heard of Toastmasters, but it was started in the early 1900s by men, and they were all afraid to talk, to speak. And so they started this thing called Toastmasters. And it is so great because by the end of doing it, you're comfortable speaking. It's really amazing. It's a great program. So I would recommend that if you wanted to do speaking. But that's another thing that you can do. And I say to parents all the time, check out your schools, because Scientology weasels in on these front groups like Narcanon. They had Narcanon in all the public schools in California. We got it kicked out in 2 weeks. Because we know the tech, and they can't just change it. So they said you have to kick out all the religious stuff. We can't have church, it's church and state. And so they couldn't change anything, so out. But I say to parents all the time, make sure it's not, Applied Scholastics, Way to Happiness, Narcanon, all of those can be, and now they have more. They have the humanitarian, like they're humanitarian. Give me a break. Okay. So, sorry about my glasses. I start telling them about Mark and then go into Scientology. There you go. Perfect. Hi, alligators. Hi, JB808. Sorry for my tardiness. Had to pick up some edibles. All right, well, since there's a few new people, I'll show you. This started with this. There you go. Leap and the net will appear. And that was a big start. I mean, I hadn't read that sign. I got the sign after I left. I made the leap. But that was my realization. You have to make the leap, Tori. You have to. Because Stacy was like, sorry, I can't help you if you're not going to tell me who you are. So I had to tell her. And then she called me up. She goes, Tori, we used to audit together at the AO. Not for long, but long enough. So that was cool. That was really cool. All right. So now I'm glad you're here, JB808 and Marcy Dose. I've heard a lot of recruiting goes on in Las Vegas. Really? I don't think so. I'll ask my friends that live there, but I don't think so anymore. Kelly's giving a heart to JB. And he's saying, hey, Kelly, we can always say that Tori does what Tori does. Scientology is a soul-sucking, mind-controlled, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. Did I get it right? You got it right. That's it. And that's really what it is. That is. I'm not exaggerating. It is. It is a soul-sucking, mind-control, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. And it's not. I mean, it has the title of religion, but you and I know they're not religious. The less Scientology, the better. Amen on that. Okay, Smiley S. Have you seen that guy on TikTok? Wait a second. Who sits outside the Hollywood branch and warns people and trolls? The dude who works on the C of S while he's trying to recruit people off the street. If it's the guy that's tied up and everything, is that the guy you're talking about? Because I just found out about him, and they're really hassling him because they don't want him, and they have their Scientology thing behind him, and he's fine with it, but they don't want it. So they're hassling him, if that's the guy you mean. It's interesting. Yep. Sounds like great dinner conversation, Sophie. Well, you have to see who you're having dinner with. You don't want to tick people off. All right, so parents can talk to schools. The other thing you can do, I like the thing of the billboards. That's cool. And the other thing is you can post on other websites. Like just post www.xenu.net and find out about it. And most people have heard about Xenu and they're like, what the hell is this? People are often friendlier on the net, if you just say, hey, hi. I think I told you guys, they have a thing called IRC, Internet Relay Chat, right, which is on the internet. And they had one for Scientology, and I was part of that. But then they told me there's all kinds of them, Tori. So I started poking around, and this is right when I left Scientology and escaped out. And I'd lost all my friends, and I knew my husband was going to divorce me, and I was sort of bummed. And I ran into these girls who were like, they had all these colors, and I love color. And they had this super bright channel, right? And so I told them, I said, yeah, my nickname is Magoo, and I escaped out of a cult and this and that. I always tell people that. And every time I'd come in, they'd be Magoo. They'd put it all in colored, all these different colored letters, Magoo. It was very fun. Things like that you never forget. I mean, it's just very sweet. I was thinking about that tonight. All the different people when I was in and on ARS and typing those 4,000 posts in 2 weeks. And I was trying to, I think it was 4,000 posts in 2 weeks. It might have been 4 weeks. But anyway, it was a lot of posts. I was like madly posting. I remember my husband would come back from being out on the road. And he'd say, do I have to make an appointment with you to go out to dinner? And I'd say, this is very important. I have to finish this. Oh, God. He has no clue what I'm doing. None. It's too bad. Okay, so now let me just make sure. Comment. Okay, that's what she said. Comment. Did Trashy reach you? He spoke with a Scientologist in Chicago, and the young man was actually listening. Trashy needed help with what to say that would plant that seed of doubt. Now, who is Trashy? I don't know who Trashy is. So I don't think he or she contacted me. Alligators High Lovey, says Sophie. That's what she said. Let me know who Trashy is, or is it someone that lives in Chicago? That's what it is. And is it someone that is an ex or never in? Okay. And where are the recruiting in Las Vegas? Any locations they use regularly? Yeah, I'll have to ask my friend because she lives in Las Vegas. She's an ex-Scientologist. And from what I understand, no, they're not doing much. I'll have to check with her. Hey, all. Late because I was watching Tori and Bunky on replay. Oh, that's cute, Marcy. That's very cute. That was a fun night. We had a good time. All right, let's see. You're so sweet. Okay, JB808. Hey, Sophie. Hey, Marcy. Marcy, at least you have one good excuse. You're here now. That's right. That's what Sophie says. Nice chat with Mr. Bunker. Yeah, I know. I agree. He's a character, isn't he? He really is a character. He's one of my favorites. True. I'm here now, Sophie. Yay. That's right, Marcy. You're here. That's what matters. All right. And One Love says it's scary that they get into schools. So fraudulent. Yeah, I know. It is. That's why I try to tell parents to at least go check, you know. And here's the way to check. You don't say, "Are you using Scientology in here?" Now my sound is off again. Darn it. I don't know what makes it do that. But anyway, I'm going to just keep going. But you don't say, "Are you guys using Scientology?" Because they'll say no. But you say, "Are you using any of the Hubbard management technology? Way to Happiness, Narcanon, Applied Scholastics," you know, those kind of things you ask them. And if they can honestly say no, good. And if they say, "Why are you asking?" say, they're very fraudulent in what they do. They'll lie to you and say it'll really help the kids, and it really doesn't. And anyway, you can have a conversation with them. Is Scientology involved with the government? Yeah, they are. Yeah. Did you ever see Greta von Susteren? She was a newscaster on TV, and now she's part of our government, and she's an OT8, and I think her husband is too. I think they're both OT8s, but they're in there. And my other friend told me that now they're doing knowledge reports, and you have to pick up the cans and tell them your bad deeds for the day. I don't know that as a fact. That's just what she told me, but I trust her. She wouldn't make it up. So we got to track it down more and find out. Hey, old Fritz. Hi, Tori from London. All right, 4:30 a.m. Woo! I have a weird routine. Happy to catch a live with you, though. Yeah, me too. I'm happy you're here. Do you get together, old Fritz, with Alex? You know, who's there in London? He's doing some good work. He'd be a good person to connect up with, and I'm sure he'd like to have someone too. Fist upper? All right. I think that's what you mean. Anyway, Marcy, Kelly, oh, it's true. Okay, alligators. You are a precious soul, Sophie. You take good care of our national treasure. She is great. She's really great, and she's even better in person. That's the good thing about it. And so is Love It. I mean, Love It has really helped me. Did you notice I'm not coughing? That's from what Love It helped me with. It's kind of amazing. It really is. Anyway, enough of me. Marcy Dotes. I really don't know locations. I have a friend that told me that I'll ask him next time I see him. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay, thanks. I'm close to Las Vegas. Cult of Scientology. Okay, good. Stacy was an amazing activist. Yeah, she was. I hope she's relaxing and having a beautiful life anyway, away from Scientology. She deserves it. I think she is. I think at last I heard she was going to take care of her mom. So hopefully she's doing that. And I hope she writes a book. That would be really cool. Yeah. Valerie, comment. It's better to protest in a normal speaking voice. Absolutely. My experience was the guy was loud and aggressive and trying to get me out of the cult failed. Later, a quiet college student succeeded. Same with me. And I've told that story over and over, that the guy who asked, if you're free, why can't you read certain books? Whereas these other guys were just yelling all these facts that were actually true facts, but it was so mean, I couldn't hear it. You know, I was just plexiglass, I don't hear you. Same kind of thing. Whereas the other guy was really nice and asked me in a really nice voice and honestly wanted to find out, you know, so it made a difference. I could feel he really wanted to know the answer to that. So it stuck in my head. It really did. It was a good. Okay, Allie, it's my absolute pleasure to help Tori in any way and call her my friend. Oh, I feel the same. We're like sisters. Yeah, we were just like instant connection. Okay, barely any OT is clear. Whitney Mills and Biggie Reichert were not clear. They were told to start a new life means they had to commit unaliving themselves first? Really? Did that happen? Oh, that's too bad. Barely any OT is clear. I agree with that. Whitney Mills and Biggs were not clear. They were told to start a new life. Well, people can tell you all kinds of things. That doesn't mean you have to do it. So people listening, if you're in, just remember you don't have to do all the stuff that people tell you. You know in your heart what's right. I don't remember what his name is, but he trolls and bullies people like crazy. I forget the channel name. Good thing you forgot it. That's okay. Hi, everybody. High power lies to paralyze. That's a good one. I love that nickname. Power. Okay, so power lies to paralyze. I've got to show you my thing because you're new. This was what I started with. Leap and the net will appear. That's a really good. That was the beginning thing of me waking up. I mean, it wasn't the beginning thing, but it was the final thing where I realized, because Stacy said, sorry, we can't help you. And I thought, I feel like I'm on 1,000-foot cliff looking down, and there's a little sign at the bottom that says you might make it if you leap, but you got to leap. And I found that sign later, and I thought, I'm getting this sign. So true. Okay. Do you mean Streets, LA? William Good? No, I don't think so. I don't know who you're asking, Kelly. Power Lives to Paralyzed, you said hi. Old Fritz, Kenny Sandra. I thought you had to be clear before going OT. Learn some. No, you do. You have to be clear to go to OT. Yeah, you do. That's part of the bridge. You have to do the bridge to total freedom. And, it's like a triangle, and about here is clear. And then you start OT1, OT2, and the top triangle is OT3 and above. Yeah, but you definitely have to be clear before you do your OT levels. I'm just saying there aren't really clears. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean they didn't attest. I attested, but did I really think I was clear? Not really. I mean, to me, the definition of a clear is perfect memory, a perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. Well, hello, having epilepsy, I don't think so. No, not gonna happen today or tomorrow. And everybody I knew, I mean, I wear glasses. That's technically, that's not a no somatics, no pains. I mean, you've got something that you have to correct, right? So for me, it's like a lot of people will say they're clear, but are they clear? I don't think so, but that's my opinion. So I'm just saying, yes, they've attested to clear, and then they do OT levels. I hope that helped. I completely agree, Valerie. Shouting and swearing, especially at a NeverIn, it doesn't matter. It's not constructive to anyone. It really isn't. I'm a hippie at heart, so I prefer to lead with understanding. Me too. And It never worked for me, the shouting. Paralyzed to paralyze. Hi there. Okay, Kenny. Scientology is very sloppy, and clears are not really clear, but clear enough to run knots half-ass. Well, it's all basically a bunch of BS. So it's kind of like it's in your head, and if you believe it, there you go. Trashy. Okay, this is from Michael. Trashy is a never-end protester in Chicago. Was the first Chicago protester in the current wave. Wow. Okay, and he's looking for some kind of a seed to plant. The tricky thing is this: there isn't a seed. That I'm sorry to say. It's like I usually start, and I've said this before, with free speech, because most people will say, if you say, "Do you believe in free speech?" They go, "Yeah." You're okay. And then you can ask them a question. Do you see what I mean? Because they've already said they believe in free speech. Like my thing is like, say, I have a video I'd like you to watch. Would you watch it? Now, most of the time, if they've already said they believe in free speech, they'll say yes. But if they're Scientologists, they'll probably say, well, it just depends. I'm not going to watch any N theta, which means bad news, which is really the truth on our side, but they consider it bad news. So anyway, that's just the way it is. But you can, that's what I would start with, is free speech, because most people will agree with that. I'm back catching up. Okay, good. I am who you say I am. JB808, Sophie agreed. As much as I'd love to see Stacy, I can totally understand her wanting to step back and live her best life. So deserving. Yeah. And I think she really missed Bob. He passed away in Ireland. And there you go. But who knows? She might be remarried again, knowing Stacy. Sophie says, JB808, totally. She has every right to live true freedom. She fought really hard at the time when the fair game was really intense. Tori also has, but chooses to keep going. They are both amazing women. Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. Yeah, for me, it's like Bunker said, it's kind of like a hobby, but it's fun when people wake up. It really is. It's wonderful. And I've had many, many people write me and say, thank you. Your videos helped me wake up. Even from other cults. I've had people from other cults do that. I don't understand why NeverIns don't know that Scientologists have a hard time with trusting with what we've been through. It's totally logic that we would be on alert, not paranoid. Okay, this is alligators. So my NeverIns don't know that ex-Sinos. Well, people are people. You just have to do my thing is like, just do what you want to do and keep going. And it's like, there are going to be people that are going to say stuff against you, and they did it yesterday. There was a whole bunch of shit about me and Sophie and Love It. And I talked to Love It today, and I said, don't, just leave it alone. It's like you get into it and it's just nothing. It's not going to go anywhere. It's all the time. My analogy is, it's like camping and your fire is almost out. But if you throw a dry log on it, what happens? Boom, blows up. And that's exactly how it is on the internet. You watch something and you just let it go. Just sit back and let it go and see what happens. And okay, maybe they're writing lies about me. All right. It's not the end of the world. I know who I am. And my friends know who I am. And the rest of the people, if they want to buy their lies, that's their problem, not mine. It isn't. It really isn't. It's not my problem. I have a thing, NMP, not my problem. There you go. All right. So it's just, I think for them, it's just, NeverIns. I don't know. Ex-Scientologists have a hard time with trusting with what they've been through. I think it's just they don't know what you've been through. You know what I mean? They literally don't know. So you can't really expect them to understand when they never went through it. So it's kind of like both of you need to come together and go, all right, well, what can we agree on? You know, that you've seen and I've seen that we can agree on. And then, you know, kind of build it from there. That's what I think. Or don't talk to them at all. You know, if they're really creepy, forget it. Trashy V12 BMW is a protester in Chicago. He's a NeverIn. I left a comment with your name so he could reach out. Thank you. That's what she said. Thank you. I appreciate that. And did you let him know I'm from Chicago also? I am. I grew up there. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Marcy. I appreciate that. And Sophie said, Tori, aw. I know, we're good friends. Valerie, that was great advice. Valerie Watkins, that was great advice. Okay, what was her great advice? We gotta, let me just see what it is. Valerie Watkins. Valerie Watkins. I hate that when I can't find it. Come on. Well, it must be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, comment. It's better to protest in a normal speaking voice. My experience was the guy who was loud and aggressive was trying to get me out of the cult failed. Later, a quiet college student succeeded. Exactly. That is so true. So very, very true. And an important lesson for everybody to learn. Okay, so Sophie says she has every right to live true freedom. She fought really hard at the time when the fear. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Sorry about that, Sophie. Okay, we did that. Trashy. Okay, don't forget. Yep. Okay, there we are. JB808. I wonder if holding a sign saying Spanky Taylor misses you would have any profound effect on John Travolta as he drives by this Clearwater protest. It might, but I don't think she'd want that to happen, just so you know. She's very private on that, and she doesn't want them, you know, I don't think that's a good idea, but I think it's a good idea. Do you know what I mean? I agree with you. It's a good idea. I think he might go boom, but on the other hand, you know, he stayed for a long time when a lot of people would have left. I mean, his son died, his wife died, you know, he's still in. I mean, it's kind of amazing. But it's not a bad idea. I just don't think she wants that, because I know I've mentioned it to her before about something like that. But thank you, JV808. Sophie, it's totally understandable. I always think y'all are really friendly and welcoming, but I guess it depends on how one behaves. So you're saying that to alligators? Okay. I love how Tori always says that. I feel the same way, like we've known each other forever. I know. I think we have. Now, if we were in Scientology, we go, we knew each other from last lifetime. That's what Scientologists do all the time. They connect up and there's really a close connection. It's like, you know what, we had to have been either sisters or something last lifetime. So weird. So weird how, when I think of how many, Julius Caesars I've met, or I forget, there's this one lady that a whole bunch of women thought they were her. Okay, Alligator says, Sophie, in life I say fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Bingo. Very good. I love when, I forget, I think it was Bush who screwed that up. It was very funny. Watch your bold claims of truth. Okay, Kenny, please watch your bold claims of truth. I missed it. What his bold claim was. Okay. We should contact Pam Bondi and tell her to stay committed to fighting human trafficking and tell her where to look. Well, I'll tell you what, you can send her an email tonight and do exactly that. And that's my thing. If anybody thinks of something, you do it. Because all of us are doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a great suggestion. And I know she'll read your email. So, and that's a good topic, human trafficking. And you can say, if you want, I'd be happy to come down and meet with you and talk to you about it. Or get someone who can, if you can't, if you're not in her area. '49ers for life. Woohoo! Good to see you, as always. Good to see everyone. Yes. Cult of Scientology. Tori, did your son get involved in CFS at all, or did he skip it? Pretty much skipped it. He went to Scientology schools for a while and did a little bit of it, but not much. Really not much. I think he did the Key to Life with his grandmother. And that was really funny because I would meet them. We were at Flag together, and they were both really ticked off. And I would try to find out what's going on. And she was very old. She was like an older, she was a grandmother. And he was very young at the time, a teenager. And she, because she got in 1950, was kind of considered an opinion leader. And because she knew Hubbard and all this other stuff. So people kind of really looked up to her. So he said, Mom, I can't tell if her, first of all, she would say, look, your son is jumping around all the time. So I can't tell if he has a misunderstood word, or because, if you move, you have a misunderstood word in Scientology. So he was always jumping around, and she'd say, I can't tell if he has a misunderstood word or if he's just jumping around. So I'd say, okay, I'll talk to him. And then I'd ask him, I'd say, how's it going? And he'd say, Mom, her dentures are always clicking, and I can't tell if she has a misunderstood word or if her dentures are just clicking. And she always talks her way out of it, no matter what. I'll say, flunk, you're clicking your teeth, and she'll talk her way out of it with the supervisor. He didn't do much. He did that, and I think that was it. It was like, forget it. And Sophie, I can understand an actual ex-Scientologist screaming and swearing in protest because they have every right to be outraged. But I don't think a NeverIn should do that. Yeah, I really don't even think ex-Scientologists should. I understand Laura because her father is in there. I can see her screaming. Do you know what I mean? Because you would want to say whatever you have to say to get through to your father. So I understand that. But just in general, for Scientologists to be screaming at ex-Scientologists, or critics, it's just, or vice versa, critics screaming at Scientologists, they're not going to hear it. They're just not. It's not a good policy. It really isn't. And I really speak from experience, from years of experience on it. Okay. But thank you, Sophie. On Ingrid K. Smiley, definitely not streets. Yeah, so it was Smiley. William Good. He has and never would be a troll. No. I don't think either one of them would be. Power lies to paralyze. I like when the protesters say AEIOU to the Scientologists. What does that mean? I never heard that. AEIOU? What does that mean, power? Power lies to paralyze. I know what AEIOU means, but what does it mean? It sounds like it means something else. What is it? Tell me. Did anyone ever talk about Aleister Crowley? Yeah, a little bit, not too much. Hubbard was a big fan of Aleister Crowley's. Crowley wasn't a fan of Hubbard's, it turned out. I didn't know that until we went to a play that the kids put on at Parsons College. And Aleister Crowley was always, it was over here, and he was like always up in the balcony. And that was Aleister Crowley. And then Hubbard was super nerdy. And then Parson was like this really, hip scientist. And I met Hubbard out at the break, and he was just super dorky. And I asked one of the kids, one of the students, what's going on with Hubbard? Because I didn't think of him as dorky. You know what I mean? I just didn't. I didn't really like him, but I didn't think of him as dorky. And he said he just was a dorky guy. That's how we saw him. So, and I said, well, why is Aleister Crowley up in the balcony? And he said, because he was in, I think, England or some other country. No, I don't think it was England, because I forget where he was, but he was in another country, and he only wrote letters to Hubbard. Hubbard never met him. I don't think he ever met him, but he wasn't, like they weren't he was in touch with Parsons, and of course stole his wife. So we know that. Mr. Ethical. All right, so let's see. Did anyone ever, okay. JB808, this is from That's What She Said. I think that sign would be great. Yeah, okay, well, I know, but I try to keep people's personal lives. I mean, if they don't want something, I don't think we should do it. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, she told me she didn't want to do that, something like that. And it's up to her. She might change sometime, but right now, I don't think so. And I'll ask her again. I will, because I see her all the time. So I'll ask her and see what she says. Our job, alligators, our job as protectors is to plant as many seeds as possible. Then they will grow. The one that touches them, we all have a secret garden. Good. I like that. And antics of a mama squirrel. Hey, here she is. My biggest project that you participated in is tomorrow at 4 our time. No, wait. My big project. Oh, okay, good to know. It's at 4. Wow, that was a riot. See, even now I have to think, no, wait a minute. I didn't quite put together antics of a mama squirrel, that you're the same person as antics that I talked to on the phone. It takes me a little bit, but that's right. Oh, good. So it's at 4, and it's at 4 Central Time or 4 Pacific Time? You said our time, so Pacific Time, I think. Let me know what time it is. Hey, antics. The Battle Doug Kramer has talked extensively about the Crowley Connections link to one of his videos. Ooh, thank you, Sophie. Can you send that to me? Thank you for sending me the links whenever you do. But I love the ones with Doug. I mean, he was really a good spokesperson. He really was. All right, now JB808 says, it vanished. It vanished. Oh, no, here it is. That's what she said. John Travolta seems like he has a lot of cognitive dissonance, especially after hearing about his friendship with Spanky on Going Clear. Kelly, I saw that nonsense. Too bad she went crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure who you're talking about, Kelly. And who's she? Unless it's a thing from yesterday, and then I know who it is. Sophie, alligators, I love that. That's the best way of putting it. Cool. Stay strong, Sophie, and love it. Thanks, Sophie. Well said, Tori. That's why I backed out in the last year. What? Why did you back out in the last year, alligators? Well said, Tori. That's why I backed out in the last year. Because everybody was screaming at everybody? Is that what you're talking about? Hi, Marcy. Sorry. I was reading hot LOL. Lovely, Tori, says Lapisha. I like that analogy. Just let it go. Don't add any more logs. Exactly. Thank you for getting that, Lapisha. I mean, it's such a simple concept, but I'm telling you, people have a very difficult time with it. I don't know why, but I appreciate that you got it, because that is the exact analogy. It's like the fire's going out, it's going out, and then you throw a log on it, boom, here you go. And people wonder, why is so-and-so keep talking about me? Well, how many logs did you throw on today? You know, you have to really stay out of it. And you have to, it takes discipline to stay out of it. Just be like, no, I'm not getting in it. I'm not. Or, you know, like for me yesterday, they said, somebody said something that was just a flat out lie about me. So I just said, that's not true, you know, about me. And Tori doesn't believe children can ever get auditing or something like that. And I said, no. Michael came up to me on L. Ron Hubbard Way and started screaming at me about how I believe this and I believe that and I think this. And I said, that's not true at all. And he said, oh, that's what all the public say. And this guy's never been in Scientology. So it was like, hello. And I finally said, do you know that I have epilepsy? And he said, no. And I said, okay, then this conversation ends right here. Because he had said about 50 lies about me. And it was just like, no, you're not letting me talk and talk to you. So this isn't a conversation. This is a one-way, you know, shit show. And I'm not going to be part of it. So the next night, Serge came and I said, Serge, I really want to talk to you. And he said, no. And he walked away. And it was like, okay, that's it on these guys. I'm done. But then they posted something yesterday about Sophie and me and whatever. They posted that whole thing that was posted. And I just said, that's not true. You know, and anybody who cares about it will come talk to me and find out what really is the truth. You know, don't just post lies about people. That's creepy. The battle, no problem. Doug, I always smile when I think of Doug every time. Doug has heaps of things about this. Sadly, he passed away, so didn't finish his series that would have explained more. Ah, darn. And you don't think they have it anywhere? No one has access to it or anything? He didn't have it on his net or his laptop or anything? It's true. We learn to tune out yelling. Yeah. Kindness wins. Thank you, Antics. Very true. Totally understand, Tori. Thank you, JB808. I really resent the exploitation of spirituals' inclinations. This is the battle. Okay, I think you're talking about OT3, but I'm not positive. It's kind of a general statement. But you're resenting something. The exploitation of spirituals' inclinations. Okay. Any idea why Scientology bought a lot of property in Clearwater? I don't. I think they've wanted, I was there in 79. They wanted to take it over then. So they've been working on it ever since. And I think they want to have a Scientology city where it's just their city. So that's why they buy the property. That's what I think. And I know because I worked with them on it. Okay, let's see. Sophie says, hey, people not in Scientology, say that too about knowing someone in a past life. People not in Scientology. Oh, people not in Scientology say that too. Oh, definitely. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know. It's just different in Scientology because people in other, like, Buddhism or other things like that, they say it, but it's just different. I don't know. Scientologists have such a flippant way of saying, oh, I was, I forget who. I can't remember this lady that we always say, we met 1,000 women that said they were this. It was some famous woman that died. And, all these women in session came up with she was it. That never happened to me. Not ever. How did you leave Scientology? You can type in escape up on the top of Tori Magoo 44. Just put in Tori Magoo 44 + escape. And I made a 10-part series on how I got in, how I woke up, how I escaped out. And it's a really good series. So that's what I'm going to say. Go watch that. And then if you have a question, come back. Strawberries and cream. Nice. Okay, Ed. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. George Bush. That's right. That was Bush's thing. He screwed it up. On 49ers for Life, if I was a Scientologist, I know I would have a great past life. LOL. I have a great imagination. Yeah, it's not that I don't have a great imagination, but I think I heard so many people on, Cleopatra. That was it. And all these chicks were, I was Cleopatra. I was Cleopatra. I was Cleopatra. I told you I met 4 Julius Caesars in one day at Denny's. So, no, I met 2. I met 2 of them. But the first one, I thought, wow, it's a good thing I didn't go to medical school. I would have never met Julius Caesar there. And then I went to the next one, and he said, I had a great session. And I said, what happened? And he said, I realized I was Julius Caesar last lifetime. And, it was like this Homer Simpson bubble of like, wait a second, I just met you, Julius Caesar. But you can't say that because that would invalidate their wins. So you just go, okay, and I'll put it in my closet as another weirdo thing in Scientology. And this was early on, too. Great story, Tori, with your son. Thank you. I don't remember which story I told. I think just... Oh, with his mother, with his grandmother. I know that was funny with her dentures and the 2 of them not being able to figure out each other's. I knew right then he was never going to be a Scientologist. I knew it. It just wasn't his thing. Okay, so Her dentures are a misunderstood word. I know, it's very funny when you think about it. They probably don't think it's funny, but I do. I'm late, sorry. Remember, zombie idiot, you're never late here. You can come anytime. You can come tomorrow and make a post and I'll answer it. So you're never late. Ita? Ito? The battle. Okay. Alligators. With the wind in the distance, I have to admit that I screamed at all of them on the free winds. Oh my God, you were on the free winds? We were on the ship next to them, and I cracked when I saw the kiddos get on. Grr. You saw kids get on the free winds? God, when I only went once, but it was all adults that were on there when I was there. I didn't see any kids. But were you on the free winds or you were next to the free winds on a different ship? Let me know. Scotland and Italy. Okay. Good. I'm part Scottish. There you go. Power lies to paralyze. AEIOU is from the confidential tone scale. Oh, God, you're right. Oh, it's another thing I forgot. I love that. Every time I forget something from Scientology, I'm happy because it's like, good. It's just another thing that's out of my mind. I knew it sounded familiar, but I was like, AEIOU. Now, let me think if I still remember it. Let's see. It's a confidential tone scale tech film. Scientologists are really surprised to hear protesters say it. AEIOU. What was it about? You've got to tell me now, because now I'm like dying. I can't remember it. I really can't. AEI. It's from the tone scale? Tone scale. Well, I've got the tech volumes here. I don't know. See if you can just tell me, because it'll take me forever to look it up. But I'll just look under A. A-E. Let me see D. A-E. Yeah, no, they don't really have it under here as AEIOU. I don't remember. Affinity is probably affinity. I don't know. God, there's so many weird things in the tech volumes. In the tech dictionary. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. AEIOU. Lapisha, good to see you, said Sophie. Nah, don't ask her, Tori. I trust your input and respect your privacy. Oh yeah, as far as Stacy, yeah. It's not my privacy, but it's hers. I think it's a great idea, but I don't think she'd want to. Tori, I'm lurking in the background. Hi, Casey Knight. Hello. I have to put on my hat for her. She gave me this hat. She gave me a bunch of cool stuff. This was one of them. Undercover CIA agent Tori Chrisman. That's right, Osa. That's what someone at LA Org told a public person. And because of that, he did not give them $5,000. He was going to give it to him that night. This is a brand new person. When do they start asking somebody for $5,000? But luckily, I told them they're liars and they hate me. And they took him back inside, and he came out and he goes, wow, they really hate you. And so I called him the next day, and I said, what did they say? And he said, you're a top secret undercover CIA agent. And Casey had just sent me that hat. I thought, oh, that is perfect for it. It's so funny. Okay. Antics of a Mama Squirrel. 4 Pacific time set the notification bell. Oh, it's at 4 o'clock Pacific time. Set the notification bell. Okay, please. Okay, I will do it. Thank you. That's a good thing to know. Because And then where do I find it? Antics. So it's tomorrow at 4. And then you have to just let me know where I can see it or contribute to it or whatever. Oh my God, there are some real unhinged people on the internet. People out there just spreading incoherent lies and shit stirring. It's true. But I remember I lived with that for 8 years until Anonymous showed up. And it's weird. It's like you're in an alley. My analogy for me, because there was only 4 people speaking out with their names. And so for me, it was like being in an alley, kind of getting raped by Scientology, or they trying to, and, me fighting them off for 8 years. And then all of a sudden, these 500 guys come around the corner going, we are on your side. We've got your back. And they all had protest signs. And it was like, oh, I was in heaven. I mean, it was so great. It really was. I just typed, I meant I was reading chat. Okay, you were reading chat. All right, good. All right, oh my God. Here's some, okay, that's Sophie. I can't believe she posted that picture when she's been asked not to. But here's the thing. You cannot really see what you look like, and you can't see what Lovett looks like either, just so you know. So don't worry about it. I told Lovett, I said, because Lovett was going to get into it. And I said, no. This is an unhinged person. And really the best thing to do is just step back and go on with our lives, because it's like, I know from doing the 8 years, it never stops. When you're in with a nutball, and I'm not saying she is, but I'm just saying I was. And these people, well, my people were paid by Scientology. So I don't think she is, but they were paid by Scientology. So they were on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They were posting lies about me. I'd wake up in the morning and there was all this shit about me. And at first I tried to straighten it out. I thought, this isn't true. And I would try to clean it up and it would just get worse and worse and worse and worse. And it took forever. But Jesse was the one who told me, just step away from the stove, Tori. That's it. That is it. There's nothing else that you can do. And it worked once you step away from the stove. And I remembered Yachty telling me that. He said, Tori, the only thing we can't handle is if someone doesn't answer. As long as they answer anything, we're good, because it keeps the show going. But if they don't answer anything, they're like out on a limb. It's very interesting to really learn how it works. Okay. But I don't think she's in that category. I don't think she's an OSA person or something, but it's still the same phenomena where it's not going to really help. The leader of the minions was saying stuff about the mods controlling Tori. Okay. Ooh, the mods are controlling me. Oh no. It's like they'll say anything. They have been saying shit for 24 years about me. Wake the fuck up, Scientology, OSA, knock, knock, knock. Hello. I mean, anybody who has any brains would listen to my videos and go, you know what? I don't care what they say. This chick has persisted through so much stuff. I'm on her side. That's the way I feel. If somebody persists through that much shit, I'm on their side. You can't, I'm a top secret undercover CIA agent. Good Lord. People are nuts. Sophie, something has snapped with that person. Yeah. Kelly, yeah, I'm not saying it hasn't. I'm just saying it doesn't help to, talk about with, online and stuff like that. It's kind of like, I'm not saying we can't say something here, but then let's move on. Okay, so alligator, Sophie, and then they are surprised that it sticks around them. I'm not surprised. Exactly. Okay, antics. I'm over here trying to figure out who posted lies about Tori. Oh, it's really not worth it. See, this is why I say don't even get into it, because then she gets into it, and then I got to clarify it again. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, it's one person posted a video that was very strange, where and she posted it on the lore of DOA. That's where it was posted, and on her site. And I'm not going to say anymore. It's just crazy, and it's not going to help to say stop doing it, because she'll just use that to do more. Remember this: leap, and the net will appear. There you go. You got to make the leap. I'm over here. Okay, so don't worry about it, antics. I think Marissa Sigmund has the best advice for viewers. She says anyone who has mental health issues should not involve themselves with any kind of Scientology at all. Exactly. But the problem is most people with mental health issues don't think they have them. And that's where that breaks down. And that's where Jesse's thing works. Because it doesn't matter if you have a mental health issue if you honestly hear step away from the stove. If you're getting upset, just step away from the stove. That's it. There's nothing else. If you say don't do Scientology and they're already in it, fat chance. It is good advice, but it's very tricky with people with mental problems because they don't see it, right? Makes sense, Sophie. Kelly, yes, I believe she's having a psychotic episode because it's totally irrational and lies mixed with paranoia. I hope she gets some help. Yeah, she needs some help. 49ers for life. When you're part of a smaller religion, you tend to feel like you know the truth and everyone else is stuck in a lie. Really? Is that true? I mean, that's true for Scientology, but I didn't know that was true for other religions. I mean, Scientology isn't a religion. Let's get that straight. So I always try to clear that up because people say it a lot and then it gets passed on as a religion, and it's not. Okay, Marcy. I don't watch anyone who spends their time yelling about others. It's terrible and stresses me out for sure. Exactly. I mean, all you have to do is think about that any time in your life when someone came up to you and started yelling at you. Did it help? Did you go, oh my God, I didn't realize that. Thank goodness they yelled that at me. No. Generally, people go, and that's it. So I agree with you, Marcy. Sophie, boy, I can't text today. Sophie, boy, I can't text today. Okay. I don't know what that is. With his grandma, yes. Okay. Philosophy, she was always so great. This is Kelly saying, so I don't catch it. At first, then she came into Mark's chat, thought she was just having an off night. Then boom, the crazy spilled out all over the place. Yep, I know. I was the same. I went with her to Laura's concert, and we had a good time. You know, I really didn't see that side of her at all. June, hi Tori, hi chat, welcome. Thank you, June. And Antic says, same here, Marcy. I can't watch it, and I don't support it. Bingo. I'm the same. I mean, I don't support it, but I have to. I've often been around people who are screaming. You know, it's kind of like Now they don't, because it's taken years. I've been doing it for 24 years, but now they don't even come out. It's really funny. Okay, hit the like button, please, said Antics. Thank you, Antics. For sure, Antics. So disturbing, really. Okay, I agree, Antics says. Sophie says, Kelly BC, I have tried to communicate with her as she did speak offline, but it's like a whole different person. I really hope she can get some help. Yeah, I'm the same, because I spoke with her offline and, saw her a couple of times. Kelly, me too, Sophie. I think we all, wish each other the best of each day. You look great in that hat. Thank you, Antics. I know, it's really, it's a beautiful hat. June, good to see you. Alligators, yes, I saw kids get on the free winds. All right, last September with their parents. We were next to them. I was not on the boat. I have many pictures of it. Okay, so they were there with their parents, though, but they weren't there, doing OTA. I mean, I was thinking, no way. There's Casey, looking great in that hat as always. Thank you. She was I'm so happy to be able to just say thank you to you, because she sent me all these things. I have many, many cool things that are from Stacy Knight. It really, I mean, some of them are. Did you send me these? I don't know if you did. Somebody sent me these. These are cool. Somebody sent me those for when it's cold. These I know you sent me, Casey, I think. The hand warmers. Did you send me those, Casey? I think you did. Because I was freezing when I first went out protesting. Mama Squirrel, don't worry about it. It's better to not put more logs on the fire. Exactly. You found it on my page. You are a featured part of it. Okay. So just go to Antics of a Mama Squirrel on YouTube, on YouTube on your page. Okay. Tori, the top CIA agent, and yes, the hat looks great on you. Unbelievable. I know, Sophie, you are right. Just was curious. Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't respond to it. Interesting power. Mama Squirrel, I know, but I really don't want to say her name. She was a friend and a regular, but has been blocked until she's well again. Power, you always break it down for us. Who's Power? Who's Power? Power lies to paralyze. Oh, thank you. AEIOU. You still haven't told me, though. What is it? What is AO? I cannot for the life of me. AEIOU. I remember saying it a million times. I think U is understanding. Oh, I don't know. Affinity. I can't remember what it is. The tone scale thing. AEIOU. Come on. You got to tell me, Power. I'm like dying. I know, Sophie, you're right. It was just, okay, so we read that. Okay, good. I know, but he hasn't told us yet. Who's unhinged this week? Power, I was wondering the same. Okay, power lies to paralyze. Okay, so AEIOU, come on, Power. You know, Marcy, if you think about it, I know, I just can't remember it. Oh, you're talking about the person that flipped out. Okay. Can we at least get a first initial on the unhinged? I'm leaving this over to Sophie. Here we go again. If we could just control Tori. As if we could just control if we could control Tori. It's actually disrespectful to Tori to think that she would even allow that. I know. I know it is. It's very disrespectful and it's creepy, but I've lived with their creepy stuff for 24 years. So it's like, okay, oh, I'm getting controlled by the moderators. That's your best shot, Osa? That is your best shot? Man, you guys are pathetic. I want you to know that you are pathetic. And people that are in and listening and staying, get the hell out of there. The way out is the nearest door. Open the door, walk out. There's nothing they can do. Nothing. And Osa, you know it. There is nothing, Nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. AEIOU. Damn, I can't remember what that is. Come on, Power, tell me. Power lies, another one bites the dust. Oh, I understand. What do you understand? You're the real deal. Kelly, not good. I used to watch her. I hope she gets help. Yeah, me too. I don't like the enablers. We have lost souls and we can't help them as long as they don't see it for themselves. The chat has to stop enabling them. Thank you. All right, so you could write a self-help book for people leaving the cult. Yeah, I know. I am who you say I am. I love that saying in your card. I know, me too. And if anybody missed it, who's new, this was actually right before I left. I didn't see this card, but I knew this concept. Here it is. Leap and the net will appear. And Stacy Brooks had said, sorry, we can't help you, Magoo. And I was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And then I just thought, I got to make the leap. And I said, all right, I'm Tori Bazazian, OT7, class 5, been in for 30 years. And she called me on the phone. She said, Tori, I know you. We used to audit together. I love it too. All right, alligator, it's really like a toxic creep pit. Some of the chats, not here, we keep it classy like Tori. Thank you, Sophie. Oh, Marcy, are you thinking of, oh, come on. Kelly, stay out of this. Precious Sophie, it's kind of why I'm only here now. Okay. I think that's good. I agree. She's okay. This is more of the stuff. I'm going to just keep going by these on this because I've asked you guys, that's it. And it's like, you keep bringing it up. So you guys can talk with yourselves, but I'm not going to talk to you. So paralyzed or paralyzed. Ooh, remember AEIOU, what was the different actors in the tone scale film would say? They'd say in it different tones: boredom, cheerful, being worshipped as a body. Now that is an AEIOU though. Come on, Power, tell us. This is really ticking me off that you won't tell me. Okay, you can post on other net sites and live stream. That's the other thing you can do to expose the abuses of the Church of Scientology. Okay, so I say that to myself now and it really helps. Leap. There you go. And you have to be safe. You have to make sure you're safe. Hi, Tori. Hey, love it. How are you? I'm a squirrel. French is such a beautiful language, Ali. No one is here. All right. Love it. Yay. People are saying how nice we keep the chat. They do. Love it. And Sophie. Lapisha, Tori, I appreciate how open-minded and kind you are. You've been an activist for so long and it shows. You're in it for the right reasons, and thank you for listening. Thank you, Lapisha. I really appreciate that. I do. It means a lot to me. It really does. So thank you. Thank you for saying that to me. Okay, Alligator says, I am who you say I am. Half. So if you want to know anything, just ask. I don't know what that means. All right. You can also pass on stories with specific characters embellished if under the radar. And Eric says, it's best not to bring up anyone. It's not right for the person. We don't need to fuel the fire with others. Yeah, Eric understands it, and I do too. And so do a lot of you. Hi, beautiful. Love it. Okay, so JB808 says, we have some awesome mods in this chat. Salute to you all. I agree. Sophie, love it, Sophie. Kelly and Marcy? Are Kelly and Marcy mods in this chat? That's news to me. I didn't know that. I thought it was just Sophie and Love It. Sorry if I forgot anyone, but thank you for maintaining a safe and peaceful environment. All right. I think it's just Sophie and Love It that are actually moderators, but I know Kelly helps out and Marcy helps out, and I do appreciate that. Power lies to paralyze. The actors in the tone scale film would say AEIOU in various emotional tones. Maybe the film was created after you left, Tori. No, it wasn't. I remember it, AEIOU. But I don't remember that. Let's see. Power lies. We need another example for Tori of the AEIOU thing. Yeah, exactly. Kelly mods for Bunky and Marcy. Oh, yeah. Kelly mods for Bunky and Marcy mods for Natalie. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, JB808. That's good. No one. the AEIOU, excuse me, was used in a Hubbard training film on the tone scale. Yeah, I know. I just can't remember it. Isn't that funny? It's very funny for me because having left with as much brainwashing as I had, it's so fun to not be able to remember things like that because I remember it. It was a very definite thing we learned. That's the only AEIOU example I've got for you. Okay, thank you, Power. Okay, I thought you were holding something for me. And I was like, come on. No one. The people would say AEIOU in different tones. It was really bad and cringy. Let's see. AEIOU. I don't remember doing that. I really don't. Maybe we did. We could have. I'm glad I forgot it. Power lies. I posted before I saw your comment about it. That's cool. Thank you, Power, for bringing it up. And another thing I can't remember, that's Scientology. That is good. And my memory is much better. So both of them, it's a combination of good. Here's my flashlight. Aha! I knew it. It fell on the floor. I live with flashlights. I love them. In my opinion, anyone who doesn't respect you hasn't taken the time to know you because you are an amazing person. Thank you, JB808. No, that was Antics of a Mama Squirrel. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel the same for all you guys. It's the same thing. JB808. I love it. My cousins left yesterday, and we never got around to seeing the Shangri-La Museum together. Ah, it was a jam-packed week. Well, that sounds fun. What else? Can you tell us what you did? Butterfly 8127, I think. Was it to teach you the 5 vowels? No, because the vowels we knew in school, A, E, I, O, U. I know that. I think they're right. It was just to use the different tones. Like if let's say you're in boredom, you'd be like, A, E, I, O, U. Or like, let's say you're in enthusiasm, A, E, I, O, U. Or conservatives, A, E, I, O, U. I remember it now. I do. Yeah. Oh, God, it's so weird. I'm so glad I forgot it. 808. Oh, darn. Glad you guys had a busy week. Was it fun? I hope you still go and tell us about it. Yeah. Yes, Tori. That was the film. Yeah. I remember it now. Thank you, No One, and thank you, Power. AEIOU was used as an arbitrary script just to, like Tori did it. Yeah. And then you'd have death, which was like the bottom, and it's like AEIOU. And then you sort of come up the tone level, like grieve, AEIOU. And then what's another one? Antagonism, AEIOU, right? So those are, and so you're drilling the different tones and learning them. But Scientologists are very judgmental. Like they come up, it's like the Matrix. They see you, and it's like that's who you are. You're PTS, upstat, downstat, this tone level. They got the whole thing within a couple of seconds. It's amazing. We went to the top-rated beaches. Ooh, the Arizona Memorial, Pearl Harbor, a luau. Wow. But the best part was all the dinners, drinks, and conversations we had with each other. That's wonderful, JB808. And you have great restaurants there. So that makes it really fun. Hilariously bad, no one says, yeah. And alligators, love it, funny, and even funnier that Scientology is not recognized here. So they always said that they are studying the science of the mind. Interesting. LMAO. Powers is laughing my ass off. Okay, and then JB808 says, love it, I will go myself. Yeah, I have no shame in doing that. Yeah, or bring a friend. JB, love getting together with my cousins. Glad you had fun. Yeah, that is really great. Okay, I get it now. Tori explained it. Well, really, Power explained it, and no one. I demonstrated it. They explained it, and I demonstrated it. I had forgotten all about that. Oh, that is so funny. I mean, for me, because you just don't forget. It's like forgetting things that you grew up with or something. It's like, really? A funny thing, one of my biggest Facebook threads ever was, do you remember your first phone number? And I swear to God, every person that was part of my Facebook site knew their first phone number like that. Mine was Talcott 34511 in Chicago. And I can, now I remember my cell phone number, but it took me a long time. I couldn't remember it. But I can remember Talcott 34511. Oh, yes, I always learn better from demonstrating. Yeah, that was one thing I liked about Scientology was the demonstration thing. Thanks, Marcy. Yeah, I cherish every moment I have. Good. That's good, JB808. It looks like fun places to go alone. Cool. Alligators. Sophie. We do that AEIOU in French. Wow. French theater class to warm up our vocal cords. Yeah, I always used to hear about warming up your vocal cords, and I never understood it until I'd be here almost all day and I wasn't talking, and then I would turn on the camera and I'd be coughing and whatever. It was hard to talk. And sometimes people call and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just haven't talked all day, so I'm busy." Name, number, and address. Yep, I remember all of it. Yep, we had to learn to go to kindergarten. We had to learn to go to kindergarten. You're funny. Okay, what does that mean? You had to learn to go to kindergarten? You mean the directions? JB, love getting together with my cousins. Okay, yeah, that sounds wonderful. Okay. You have to learn to go to kindergarten. No one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just remembered who no one is. Thank you for writing me that and telling me. That really helped a bunch. Sophie, alligators. Yes, I remember doing that when I used to sing. Right. Yeah, you always hear singers talk about warming up their vocal cords before they sing. Okay. And Love says, just saw your comment of what you guys did. Oh, yeah, I think we already went there. Sorry, I'm fragmented. Don't worry about it. Alligator, cool. I hope spring has arrived for you. It has here, and it's been wonderful. It's really nice and toasty warm. Thank you, too, said no one. To, I think, love it. I think. Dawn Gloves, RNSP. Ooh, Gen X did have to know their phone numbers and addresses before kindergarten. I think we all did. Not that we were going to call them, but I think we learned them when we were really little. That's why we can still remember. Yep, you had to exercise your vocal cords. That's right. 808, a great dream. Aw, sweet. Very sweet. Okay, so just to review, for the topic tonight was Scientology exes, critics, NeverIns, favorite ways to expose Scientology abuses. And if you have any more, you can add them. I am who you say I am. I have to head out now, almost 10 p.m. And little one is waking up. Oh, the crack of dawn. Oh, thanks for the lovely discussion, and thanks, chat. Everyone have a great night. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. So just to review it, you can write on the net. If you're in and you're waking up and you want to say something, but you don't want anybody to know, you can do it anonymously. Or if you're out and you don't want anybody to know, you can do it anonymously. Or you can get stronger and put your name out there or make up a name. You can make up it. Look at all the names these guys have. I love the names. You can go visit your friends because there's tons of friends out here. You can protest, picket, either one, whichever one you want. You can speak in various places because that's a good thing to think about. Parents, you can talk to your schools and see if there's any Scientology management technology or anything of Hubbard's being used in there at all. They have to say it's Hubbard's. They do. And you can also post on other sites, like links. You can put a link to Tori Magoo 44. Please do. I want more people to come here. That would be a good thing. Scientology hates my stats going up, so do that. And someone mentioned billboards, which I think is a great idea. And the last one that I thought of is you can do your own live stream. There you go. Well, maybe take care. I am. All right. Will maybe take care. I am. Camping around there must be magical for alligators. All right. Well, you guys all take care. We've been on for 2 hours and 5 minutes. So thank you all for coming. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Sophie. And thank you, Love It. Thank you both for coming on. Sophie, thank you for being our moderator, and Sophie and Love It also. And don't anybody worry about yucky stuff, because it comes and goes. Believe me, if you don't say anything, they'll be on to something else. Have an amazing night with lots of fun from Culver City, California. Lots of love from Culver City. Thank you, Eric. And thank you for calling me and talking with me. Thanks, lovely chat. Yes, everyone, thank you. If I knew how to do those little hearts, I would. Now, wait, I got to remember. They said this and the dot, right? There it is. But now, how do I get it into it? All right. I don't know how to. That's the only thing. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I don't want to do it in Japanese. No. I don't know. It won't send to your devices. I don't know. I'll have to practice it. You're right. If you were yucky, then I love yucky. Well, I'm not yucky, but I'm goofy. I'm definitely goofy. I'm kind of a combination of Lucille Ball and Ethel. That's me and Spanky, Lucille Ball and Ethel, all the time. I always say I should videotape my days here. You guys would crack up at my days. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm such a knucklehead, but in a good way. It's just goofy. I mean, Rib Guy and I yesterday spent 2 hours trying to figure out how to get money from Cash App into my bank. But we couldn't figure it out. And he said, okay, you go do your thing with Bunker. I'll Google it. Today he called me up because you're not going to believe it. I said, what? He goes, it's going to take you 2 seconds to do it. And we did. We did it in like under a minute. It was just unbelievable. Aloha. Ethel is so underrated. I know. My mom used to always call herself Lucille. She was. Thank you, Tori. Good night, all. Thank you, JB808, and everyone else. Thank you for coming. And the next one, just so you know, before you leave, Wednesday night, I'm going to have Dylan Gill is going to be on here, and it's going to be very exciting. He's going to talk about the very, very top of what's going on. And he's a cool guy. So make sure you come. It's Wednesday night at 8. So there you go. Good night to everyone. All right. Love you guys. Oh, I forgot. Bunker always laughs at me. I forget these things. All right. You have to end the stream. There you go.